My angels, it's Hailey Reese, and I hope that you guys are just as excited for today's video as I am, because we're finally going to be diving into the Japanese urban legend of kuchisake-onna, the slit-mouthed woman. Now, I actually remember first hearing about this a little while ago, but it totally slipped my mind, and last night while on a live stream, one of you commented and you were like, Hailey, have you heard about the slit-mouthed woman? And I was like, actually, I'm not sure if I have, but I'm going to look into her. And upon doing so, I was like, we need to talk about this because she is such a creepy entity and honestly has a very unique story. So I wanted to share that with you guys today. Before we get into today's video though, I would just very quickly like to mention that if you're new to my channel or you are just not yet subscribed, but you do enjoy my videos, I would absolutely love it and super appreciate it if you would go ahead and click that subscribe button. Join the Reese's Pieces. We would absolutely love nothing more than to have you. And yeah, we talk about some pretty spooky stuff, go to some pretty spooky places, and I hope that you'll stick around. But with that being said, I really want to dive into this legend because like I just said, it's kind of unlike any other legend that I've heard of before. I've kind of found that amongst urban legends, there's normally certain correlations, but this one, to me anyways, is different, and she is very eerie, especially during times like now. But we'll get into that in a moment. So without further ado, sit back, relax, maybe turn a light on, and let's get into today's video. So kuchisake-onna, I hope that I'm pronouncing that right, is a Japanese urban legend of an entity that is deemed very, very dangerous. Now, what's really creepy about this entity, especially in today's day and age or right now in the world, is that she appears to be a regular woman, but she wears a face mask, like a medical face mask, which a lot of people are wearing nowadays. Although in Japan, it's not entirely uncommon for people to wear face masks, especially during flu season, but she is said to wear a face mask, or in other versions of the tale, just like a cloth over her mouth area and a trench coat. And she's deemed very, very beautiful, even while half of her face is covered. So like I said, she looks like a beautiful woman wearing a face mask and or a trench coat, and she will approach you and ask you, do you think I'm pretty? If you answer no, she will kill you automatically. But if you answer yes, it is said that she'll pull off her face mask, revealing a slit face from ear to ear, and re-ask her question, do you still think I'm pretty? And if you answer yes, it is deemed that she'll slice your face to look just like hers. But if you answer no, it is said she will kill you. Now, it's said back in the late 1970s, so many people were having encounters with her, and everybody was talking about her that it caused panic in Japanese towns. So much so that children were accompanied by adults when leaving school or told to leave and walk in pairs, and they even had more police officers on duty. Everybody was absolutely terrified, even more specifically, children were terrified to have an encounter with the slit-mouthed woman. So I bet you guys are wondering, who on earth is this slit-mouthed entity and where did she originate from? Now, like every urban legend, there's a couple of different versions of the tale, but one of which dates back to over 1,000 years ago. This version of the tale states that over 1,000 years ago, a samurai was married to an absolutely beautiful woman. The only issue was that this woman knew she was very beautiful. It said that she would go throughout the town asking people if they believed her to be pretty, and this enraged the samurai as he was a jealous, prideful man. Now, it's said that eventually he either assumed she had an affair or she did have an affair, and out of a fit of anger, he took a sword or a knife and sliced her face from ear to ear to get revenge on her, asking her, who's gonna think you're pretty now? Now, it's said that later she would pass away and come back down to earth as a vengeful, angry entity seeking revenge on what had happened to her. Another version of the tale is, once again, there was an absolutely beautiful woman who made another woman incredibly jealous of her beauty. In a rage of jealousy, it said that the woman would slice her face from ear to ear to take away her beauty from her. There's other versions of the tales that claim that in some sort of a medical procedure, something went wrong and her face became mutilated. But either way, the root of the legend is that a beautiful, beautiful woman lost her exterior beauty and came back down to earth angry about it. So like I said, the legend goes, if you're walking alone, a woman may approach you. She'll be wearing a mask over her mouth and she'll appear to be very beautiful. When she approaches you, she'll ask you, do you think I'm pretty? And if you answer yes, she'll remove her mask, lean in close with her cut face and ask you, do you still think I'm pretty? And if you say yes, then she will make your face exactly like hers. But if you say no, she will kill you. Now, there are a couple of ways that it's said that you can trick this entity to get away, one of which being to answer back in a way that confuses her. They say that if you answer, so-so, it will confuse her and give you time to get away. Or if you come back at her with something like, you're average, it will also confuse her and you can run away. Other people also say that if you drop candy or like distract her with something, you can get away. But other versions of the tale claim that while you might get away in the moment, she'll come to find you and kill you. Although I should note that there's also other versions of the tale that claim that if you tell her she's still beautiful when she takes her mask off, she lets you live. It all depends on which version you're hearing, or I guess which encounter you have. But either way, up until today, kuchisake-onna is still roaming the streets. And now people are saying it's even easier for her to prey on people because everybody's wearing masks. And it's also said she especially preys on small children, tricking them into answering in a way that will lead to their death. So, I don't know about you guys, but after I learned about her, it's definitely slightly unsettling to think that anybody could be here under one of those masks. Any seemingly beautiful woman you cross in the street could wind up coming up to you and asking you a question that if you answer wrong, could lead to a very dark outcome. So remember, if you ever encounter kuchisake-onna and she asks you, do you think I'm pretty? Say yes. And if she shows you her face, answer with a confusing answer, such as, so-so, or you're average. Or hope that you have candy on you and you can drop the candy and run. But that is the legend of the slit-faced woman. Have you guys heard of her before? Do you know anybody who might have had an experience with her? What do you guys think of this urban legend? Do you guys think that it's just an urban legend, or do you believe it to be true? Something that I find particularly interesting is that it was so terrifying they actually put more officers on night duty, and they would make sure that children had chaperones when leaving school or were walking together, which probably isn't a bad idea entirely whether she exists or not. But it is interesting to think that measures were taken to protect people from this entity. So I want to know what you guys think. One thing that I will say though, you guys, is a lot of hauntings, especially with angry or vengeful spirits, stem from some sort of trauma. So if there was a woman who, whatever the case may be, had her face slashed in a fit of anger from somebody else, it wouldn't be too far-fetched to think that maybe she would come back to haunt people. But I want to know what you guys think of this legend, and I also want to know if there's any other urban legends across the world that you guys would like to see me cover. But that is it for today's video. Like I said earlier, if you guys are new to my channel or you are just not yet subscribed but you do enjoy my videos, I would really love and appreciate it if you guys would go ahead and click that subscribe button. And also please give this video a big thumbs up if you did enjoy it. Remember, my loves, do all things with kindness. And until next time, I love you guys.